In this podcast episode, Dr. Paul Saladino covers a wide range of pressing health issues often overlooked or misunderstood due to modern lifestyle and commercial influences. The discussion spans the dangers of plastics and endocrine disruptors, the rising use and implications of GLP-1 medications for weight loss, the significance of authentic nutrition rooted in ancestral eating patterns, the impact of pharmaceutical advertising, looks and longevity optimization, men's sexual health, the lingering effects of psychiatric medications, and the crucial role of nature in alleviating anxiety. Dr. Saladino shares his insights on improving health through diet, reducing toxin exposure, mindset adjustment, and reconnecting with natural environments. Plastics have become a silent but immense threat to human health, acting like Trojan horses carrying thousands of micro and nanoplastics loaded with endocrine-disrupting chemicals such as BPA, phthalates, PFAs, and pesticides. Dr. Saladino points out that ordinary consumable items like canned sodas and paper cups lined with plastic introduce millions of these tiny toxic particles into our bodies daily. These plastics accumulate in various organs including testicles, brain, ovaries, and kidneys, impairing hormonal function and particularly damaging men's testosterone production and reproductive health. Reducing plastic exposure is emphasized as one of the easiest yet most impactful health actions to undertake, encompassing avoiding plastic bottles, cans, and containers, favoring glass, and using home filtration systems like reverse osmosis. The increasing popularity of GLP-1 receptor agonists such as Ozempic, Mounjaro, and the upcoming triple agonist Rybelsus reflects society's urgent craving to solve the obesity epidemic pharmacologically. Dr. Saladino acknowledges the significant and rapid weight loss witnessed in public figures like Charles Barkley, but raises concerns about the lifelong need for these medicines and the potential side effects, including gastrointestinal issues and even increased suicidality. These drugs modulate neurotransmitters affecting satiety, but when discontinued without sustained lifestyle changes, patients typically regain lost weight 4 times faster than after stopping exercise. Furthermore, growing anecdotal reports suggest GLP-1 use might blunt pleasure pathways in the brain, potentially dampening emotional connection, desire, and even romantic relationships due to their action on brain reward centers. Ultimately, the solution should emphasize returning to nutrient-dense, single-ingredient foods that provide natural satiety and promote metabolic health, rather than relying solely on pharmaceutical shortcuts. Comparing America's past to present underscores how obesity rates have skyrocketed from 3% in 1920 to over 40% today. The culprit is largely the engineered, processed food supply filled with artificial ingredients and unpronounceable additives that disrupt the brain's satiety mechanisms and promote overeating, what Dr. Saladino calls food noise. These foods not only intoxicate the brain, but also impoverish nutrient status, critical for hormone production and overall health. Historical eating habits centered around single-ingredient foods like meat, fish, eggs, and fresh fruits and vegetables, which are unlikely to cause obesity even in cases of overeating. Emphasis is placed on dietary quality and a return to whole foods as the foundation for tackling weight and metabolic disorders. Men's testosterone levels today are roughly half of what they were a century ago, a shift attributed to poor nutrition, chemical exposures, and lifestyle factors. Dr. Saladino explains that many men rush into testosterone replacement therapy without addressing underlying deficiencies in zinc, vitamin D, and other vital nutrients that can be restored naturally. The pervasive presence of plastics and endocrine disruptors in food containers, personal care products, and the environment directly undermines hormonal function and contributes to early-onset erectile dysfunction, which is now exhibiting in younger men at an alarming rate. He stresses minimizing exposure to these toxins by avoiding plastic bottles and cans, choosing natural grooming products, and consuming nutrient-rich animal foods. Addressing common male concerns, Dr. Saladino dispels myths about penis size and emphasizes that size is less crucial to sexual satisfaction than emotional connection, knowledge of female anatomy, and pacing. He notes that penile growth depends on nutrition during puberty, pointing out that many boys today are growing up on nutrient-poor junk foods that impair development. For stamina and erectile function, he recommends breathwork, slowing down during intimacy, avoiding porn-induced habituation, and focusing on genuine connection. This holistic perspective integrates nutrition, hormonal balance, and psychological factors. The episode explores the contemporary pursuit of physical attractiveness through various looksmaxing tactics, such as jaw hammering, implants, and surgical modifications. Dr. Saladino critically views these trends as attempts to compensate for developmental deficiencies caused by modern soft diets and nutritional inadequacies. He references the work of Weston A. Price, highlighting the marked deterioration of facial bone structure and dental health in modern society compared to ancestral populations nourished on nutrient-dense diets. True looksmaxing, he advises, comes from ensuring adequate nutrient intake, proper sleep, stress management, and natural physical development, rather than relying on cosmetic shortcuts that may damage long-term health. Despite growing skepticism around pharmaceuticals, Big Pharma's advertising remains pervasive, especially in countries like the US, where direct-to-consumer advertising is legal. In 2025, pharmaceutical ads made up over 16% of national TV ad spends, creating a strong financial incentive for media outlets to maintain these income streams. Dr. Saladino expresses frustration at the reluctance of regulatory reforms to ban such ads that promote sometimes unnecessary or harmful medical interventions. Exposure to these continual messages strongly influences public perception about health and medicine, often overshadowing prevention and lifestyle-based solutions. The conversation turns towards psychiatric medications, such as benzodiazepines and SSRIs, that millions rely upon for anxiety and depression. Dr. Saladino details the risks of benzodiazepine withdrawal, brain structural changes, and the addictive potential of these drugs. The story of Jordan Peterson illustrates the devastating long-term effects of benzo use, including prolonged neurological pain and incapacitation. SSRIs, often prescribed after situational stress, may cause emotional blunting, increased suicidality, and difficult withdrawal syndromes. Depression is reframed not simply as a serotonin deficiency, but as a form of neuroinflammation that can often be addressed through diet and lifestyle changes rather than medication alone. Bad breath and body odor issues frequently stem from imbalances in the microbiome, whether oral, vaginal, or skin, that are influenced heavily by diet quality. Dr. Saladino criticizes overuse of mouthwash, which kills beneficial oral bacteria crucial for producing nitric oxide, a vasodilator important for circulation and erectile function. He avoids toothpaste and synthetic personal care products altogether, opting for natural alternatives like coconut oil and baking soda for oral care, natural deodorants free from parabens and aluminum, and abstaining from shampoo in favor of simpler soaps when possible. The message is to reduce exposure to harmful chemicals in personal care, maintain microbial balance, and nourish the body from within. Stress and anxiety are exacerbated by constant digital stimulation, information overload, and disconnection from the natural world. Dr. Saladino advocates for regular immersion in raw nature, whether in mountains, oceans, or starry nights, as an essential practice to restore perspective, calm the nervous system, and reset mental clarity. Exposure to wide vistas activates the parasympathetic nervous system, naturally reducing anxiety by reminding the human brain of its place in a vast universe. Nature acts as a grounding force that helps individuals overcome the amplified fears and pressures created by modern life and social media. Throughout the discussion, the importance of returning to nutrient-dense, animal-based foods is underscored. Organ meats such as liver, heart, pancreas, and testicles contain unique peptides and a rich vitamin profile that promote longevity, hormone production, immune function, and overall vitality. Dr. Saladino highlights products his companies make, including high-quality protein bars made from grass-fed whey, collagen, and real fruit extracts, free from artificial additives. He also shares rare stingless bee honey as an example of natural, healing food. Overall, he encourages prioritizing whole foods over processed products and educating future generations on the power of appropriate nutrition. A brief mention is made of measuring carbon dioxide, CO2 levels indoors using affordable CO2 monitors, which help optimize sleep quality, cognitive function, and productivity by ensuring proper air circulation and minimizing CO2 buildup. Additionally, the potential of wearable devices and quantification in health monitoring is reflected on, as exemplified by biohackers measuring physiological responses to intimate moments or environmental conditions, underscoring the move toward personalized wellness through technology, but always anchored in fundamental health principles. In the final part of the conversation, Dr. Saladino speaks about his personal relationship to spirituality and the universe. He avoids rigid religious labels, instead embracing a sense of wonder for something greater than himself, often experienced through natural beauty and the ordered complexity of life. This animating force that resists entropy in living beings inspires him to approach health holistically, merging science with an appreciation for life's mystery. He emphasizes gratitude for the abilities to share knowledge and contribute positively to others' well-being, underlining the human quest for meaning beyond just physical health.